How's it going, laser braces up? I'll be Sixkilla and welcome back to the Vigilant Villa. It is time for us to set a trap to catch the judge guy who keeps stringing up the dead bodies or doing whatever to them, depending on whether he thinks they're good people or bad people. I don't really know. Probably not the murderer though, but that's a start. The number 2 fishing line is extremely thin. It's as sharp as a knife when it's stretched tight. The fishing line is fixed in position on the calf. I only need to hurt that person and make a mark. Ah, so you'll see the cut on them later. No one dares to eat lunch. Some of them take unopened wine from the wine cabinet to alleviate the hunger. Whoever wants to go back in their room to get something, have some water or even use the toilet, there'll be another person standing up to watch over. While they're tired, I go to the bookshelf alone, turn my back to them and pretend I'm reading. It's Bacon's cipher. I can solve it by contrasting. Bacon's cipher? The cipher of bacon. The most delicious of all ciphers. The secret codes on the note is AAA, AAAB, BAABB, AAB. I don't know what that means though. Oh, I see. Alright, hang on. Well, that's hardly a cipher, is it? A little bit too easy, isn't it? So we got quadruple AB. That's B. Then we got BAABB, which is T. Then we got AABBB, it's H. ABAAA is I. BAAAB, it's R. AAABB, which is D. B third. It's another book thing. What will the answer be? BO3. The third book, row B. Tuck Everlasting, a story of eternal life. A card and a photo. It says, is the eternal life a blessing or a curse? I especially adjust my breath before opening the picture. I don't want to cause my body's overreaction again. Who is putting these here? That's the real question. A photo of a criminal. It's Ingram Fang, who looks indifferent and scornful. God damn it, we are the murderer. I quickly hide the photo and try to remain calm as my heart races. I stride away. Dude, we're in trouble. Air, I need some fresh air. Oh crap, here we go again. I stumble toward the door. My feet lose their strength. I kneel down on the ground. Who is it? Uncanny waves of laughter hover around me. I suddenly look up and I see the mirror at the door. Who the hell are you? No, it's who the hell am I? In my lost memories, what did I do? Are you alright? My sight becomes clearer. Daisy stares at me in surprise. What happened to me? My forehead is dripping cold sweat. You were kneeling on the ground when I saw you and you were murmuring something. Your eyes look vacant. Was it sleepwalking like last time? But you didn't sleep. I need to ask you a question, Daisy. Sure. If I didn't know who I am... What if I didn't know who I am? Would it be a horrible thing? No one can fully understand the true self. Sometimes I don't understand myself either. But what if I don't remember what I did? I might have hurt people. This question is quite difficult to answer. If you don't remember it, how can you prove you really did it? Do you have evidence? Evidence? Yeah. What Daisy said is like a life-saving rope that drags me out of the chaos. How can a few pictures prove that it's me? I shouldn't be controlled like this. I must find out who's behind this. Hey, come back, you two. Oh, we're in trouble. George keeps staring at me. Looks like he thinks I'm the biggest threat. I haven't taken the medicine. The sharp pain is stimulating that part of my brain, making it hyperactive. I turn the Rubik's Cube in my hands, trying to distract myself, but that dream unconsciously comes back to me. Leo waves his hand before my eyes. Has your illness hit you again? Why are you staring blankly? I just recalled something about my childhood. What's worth recalling in childhood? I don't know, I can recall nothing that happened before I was 7. I just recalled some of them, it feels fresh and strange. Looks like you start to remember things quite late. I've fallen sick once. Another short silence falls over the room. Does anyone want to listen to operas? It's the opera player I borrowed from John. Come on, don't play that. I get fucking annoyed whenever I hear it. That's what I want. I put the earphones on, the music greets my ears. The first opera is Peach Blossom Hut, sounding mellow. The years end and here comes the spring with flowers blooming. The year ends and here comes the spring with flowers blooming. Year after year, month after month. I keep thinking about my love. The butterflies roam around outside the wall in pairs. Swallows come after swan gooses fly away. What's going on? A blackout? Found it. I get excited. The second I stand up, my heart starts twitching fiercely. Darkness envelops me. What's wrong with you, Foms? Go and get his medicine quickly. Give me the key to his room. Chapter 5, The End. Chapter 6, Missing Hand. Not my hand, is it? I need both my hands for video games. The sound drifts out of the earphones. The timbre is mellow and sweet, and the tune is delicate and tilting. The sound comes to a screeching halt. The small static noise continues on for a couple of minutes until John's cries begin echoing in the lounge. Fake, of course. His alibi is fake. My deduction is now confirmed. He seemed quite excited. An ethereal voice speaks in my ear, but I can't feel the presence of the man that I should feel at this distance. It's here? The voice comes from an acquaintance. She looks a bit different from when she was alive. Face is pale as paper. She stares straight at me with her glazed eyes. The corners of her mouth twitches. But as the zygomaticus major muscle fails to function, she only manages half a smile. Creepy. You don't have to smile, it looks kinda horrifying. Huh? Do I really look that creepy? She still cares so much about her appearance, I couldn't bear to tell her the truth again. Come on, don't be so serious. What's wrong again? Maybe I can help you. I don't want to answer her, but she keeps talking. Like, are you self-doubting again? I raise my head to look at her. She seems satisfied with my reaction. Ha, I found your weakness. There's a part of you constantly doubting yourself. It's such an obvious weakness. Be careful, someone may take advantage of it. I don't want to answer her, even though it's been my deepest fear all the time. Alright, let's talk about something less serious. Have you found out who killed me? John. As she's about to do her creepy smile again, I turn around and walk away. Now she's laboriously trying to catch up with me. Her bony body looks stiff while walking, as if a puppet has come to life. Congratulations, that's correct. As a reward, you can ask me one question. Why were you sent back? Why did he send you back? A warped sense of humor? He wants to see someone panic? But it's so unfair to me. I don't want to show myself like that in front of everybody. So did my answer give you any new ideas? Essentially, no. It's all the information I've already known. Her dark eyes stare at me. And after a while, slowly turn upwards. I think she's trying to roll her eyes at me. It's my turn to ask. Have you found out why he wanted to kill me? Why? Why did John want to kill Amy? No, maybe I should ask the other question. Who was your target? She shrugs, as if her stiff shoulders are pulled by strings. They drop immediately once released. If you don't know the answer to that, then I don't know it either. Why? Well, as for the answer to that, I think you know. She's trying to pull the corners of her mouth again. I want to leave, but my legs seem to be nailed to the ground and unable to move. She can't answer anything that I don't know because she is just an illusion. Whatever she knows is just my brain answering its own questions. So this place is a dream? Day 5. Day 5 in Tulip Villa. The things I've finally revealed with my full strength is just the tip of the iceberg. The things you can't see beneath the surface of the sea is its full view. In this game with the 11th person, I seem to get closer to the person. There is something cool on my forehead. The coolness penetrates my forehead and directs at a chaotic spot. I've regained consciousness. Must be Daisy. My eyes squint, gradually adjusting to the brightness. As my eyes open, I reach out to catch the hand placed on my forehead. Oh, it's Emily. Emily seems to be a little panicked that I'm gripping her wrist. I'm just checking if you're still burning up. Sorry. I quickly let go of her hand. It's already morning. My head feels like spinning. Ever since I came here, it's been mostly cloudy or rainy. Even the rare sunny days are a bit muggy. Feeling drained, I stand up, pour myself a cup of water, gulp it down, and finally feel alive again. Mr. Fang, this is a serious illness. You have to take the medications as instructed. No one can help you if your condition worsens before the rescue comes. I nod, frowning. The painkillers help to calm the nerves, but weird things always happen while I'm asleep. Not to mention I've become dependent on the pills. At least you've helped us exclude a wrong option. With your health condition, you can't murder anyone or even move anybody. Easier said than done. Yesterday, Emily and Isaac were busy helping out while you just stood there watching. I tend to look at Isaac. Her eyes are rigidly fixed on Claire, but she doesn't seem to care. Without her makeup, Claire looks a little worn out. The jade necklace on her chest shows a dark emerald glimmer in the sunlight. Can I see your necklace? Claire looks at me without saying anything and takes off her jade necklace. I take the necklace over and examine it. It's larger than it looks and weighs quite a lot, with a dark shadow in the center. There are traces of glue used to stick it back together on the edge of the jade. There's a dark shading in the middle and signs of glue around it. It's because it's got a key in it. Is there anything wrong? No, nothing. Come on, I'm starved to death. Leo tosses away the ball and walks toward the kitchen. Following him closely behind is George. Can you stop following me? No, it's the rope. George hasn't even finished his sentence before Leo throws a punch at him, making him reel backwards. Bullshit, I repeat, do not follow me. George straightens up, wipes the corner of his mouth with his thumb and checks his suit, without any trace of panic. His eyes show contempt, arrogance, and pity. Neuropeptide Y. It not only controls your sense of hunger, but also affects a tendency for anger and aggression in the brain. Only someone with a high level of neuropeptide Y in the cerebrospinal fluid will submit to the most primal emotions when it's time to stay calm. Inferior gene. What'd you say? I press the play button and everyone turns to look at me automatically. Shut that fucking thing off. Stop talking. Let the truth end all these meaningless arguments. After the static noise, John's voice comes out. What happened? A blackout? Everybody's shocked to the core. Is this what you heard that day? Yes. This is pre-recorded, and he was not in the room then. He was conducting the murder. Holmes, you found the murderer? I should have figured it out sooner. 11:25. This moment is when Claire and Emily last saw Amy. If I were him at this time... Alright, here we go. We're going to prove that John is the killer. They can restore John's movement. Alright, this could be difficult. That's about John's movement already. It just says John's movement. Yesterday I was terribly angry, so I went to enjoy the view alone, listen to the opera, and turn my beads to cheer myself up. I was indeed standing at the window, but instead of enjoying the view, I was observing the cliff through the window. Then Amy was burning ghost money on the cliff, her silhouette reflected by the fire in the dark light. I was waiting. I was waiting for the blackout. 11:45. A blackout in the villa. I started moving and I needed a disguise. Okay, here we go. What did John use to prove his alibi? The opera player. The volume of the opera player was turned up and there was only a small static noise. I left the villa as planned. Okay. What did John use to leave the villa from the second floor? Climbing rope. Using the climbing rope, I dropped down to the ground floor with ease. The climbing rope was in my room. I was confident that those strangers would never have thought I could do cliff climbing. You don't look like the sort, no. On the edge of the cliff, Amy was immersed in a little memorial ceremony for a certain person. Ashes swirling around the burning fire past her thoughts of the dead. And I, hiding in the dark, quietly inched closer behind her back. I covered her mouth and nose as she slowly gave up fighting, and then I pushed her off the cliff. Damn it, the woman grabbed a piece of cloth off my glove. Should I risk going down to retrieve it? Anyway, it was too late now. According to the shift, I had to be in the lounge at around 12. At around 11:59, the power came back on. At around 12:02, John appears in the lounge. After the murder. But I still made a mistake, and left a trace when I was returning to the villa. Let's see, what did he leave? When returning to the villa. Oh, he got seen. This one, Daisy Moore. Daisy, who was on the first floor, saw my silhouette as I was climbing up to the second floor. Thankfully, she mistook it for a head flying upward due to her nervousness and fear. I thought this floor shouldn't be taken as evidence. The old man was always smiling. I never would have thought he was planning to commit a crime. He even thought of an alibi for himself. Even I was fooled. You didn't know him. We've only known each other for a few days. What we see is all superficial. Daisy steps close to me and pulls my shirt, whispering to ask, Holmes, when you make deductions, do you always place yourself in their shoes? What? You seem to be unconsciously imagining that you were the murderer while deducting what happened. Your eyes lit up when you were talking about the modus operandi. It's different than your normal self as a truth-seeking detective. You're usually very serious. But while simulating the crime, you look a little excited and terrifying. Daisy frowns. I don't know how to describe it. I'm a little concerned about you. Of course, I hope you can find out the truth, but I'm more worried that you will. I've never paid any attention, or rather thought of it as a problem. If I have to find a reason for it... About the murderer's mind? Don't worry, I'm just trying to get into their head. To find out the truth. Okay, I believe you. She nods, still looking a little concerned. As for the criminal tool... Criminal tool? He is a tool. What is the murder weapon used to kill Amy? To kill Amy? He got thrown off a cliff. Oh, it's probably fishing line. Right? No. Okay. She was thrown off a cliff, wasn't she? Oh, maybe it's the chamois leather. Yeah. Oh, I messed that up. Chamois leather is not commonly used, but is often found on John. This cloth belongs to gloves. I think the cloth inside Amy's hand belongs to the chamois leather gloves. The rosewood bead bracelet he usually wore will be oxidized and turn black with water. Oil and other secretions all help to form a patina that damages the beautiful original pattern of the bead bracelet. The permeability of chamois leather is not so good, making it the best companion to rosewood. So the chamois leather fabric inside Amy's hand is from John's chamois leather gloves. Since the murder weapon and the modus operandi match, you must have also found out the motive, right? I'm curious too. They seem like complete strangers. He didn't have to kill her. I entered a cul-de-sac at first, thinking that whoever killed Amy at least knew her. But it didn't make any sense, so I thought of something else. There is another link between them. The owner of the villa? That link is the owner of the villa. The only link between those two is the owner of the villa. But I don't understand why it's relevant to Zhang killing Amy. The answer is irrelevant. Your theory is wrong. There's another possibility. The link is Amy's partner. Amy came here disguised as the owner of the villa, which means their target would come to the villa too. It's the basis for the plan. The only person who would definitely come here is Isaac. He's the delivery man for the villa. How can you be so sure that everyone was telling the truth? The last thing you can rely on is what people have said. If someone here is Amy's partner, there's got to be flaws in the story of coming to the villa. Uh-oh. What's happening now? We're getting a full-on cutscene thing. Why? That was awesome. Someone lied about the reason or time. I size up each and every one of them in front of me. George, he, and Emily Tom? You can check online to see if I'm... Oh crap, I need to pick the right one. I have no idea. Claire? Me? What did I lie about? About why they're here. I'm afraid you didn't come here for vacation, did you? How would I know what he was planning? I'm just here to relax. What else do you think I'm here for? Show me your evidence. Damn it. I read your messages in John's mobile phone. You booked the room on the 6th. She contemplates, looking confused. Is the 6th? What's wrong with that? Sure, by that time, Amy had taken over the villa. She could be sure that you and John would come to the villa. Oh, so you mean that I'm as suspicious as Isaac? But why would I want to kill my source of income? She still has a confused look on, but there's nothing confusing about what I said. This is not the only problem in your story. The time delay device that John prepared conflicts with the other time element. Meaning? You're about to start the deduction. Right. Let's do it. What clue about the time is conflicting with John's time delay device? No. Time schedule. Has to be. According to the device, he must have known the victim would leave the villa between 11:30 and 12. But strangely enough, Amy was arranged to watch Leo with Emily during this time. If nothing went wrong, she couldn't leave the villa on her own. That day, the only person who could have planned to leave during that window of time is you. So the reason why John killed Amy is simple. He didn't want to kill her. It's you that he planned to murder. Then I'm more confused. Why would he want to kill me? Because you've got the key to the money in your necklace, you twat. This one. She has the key. He was looking for a key, and I think you have it. A key? Where does this come from? John's chat history. The key can be used to inherit his wife's legacy. He told the lawyer that he couldn't find the key, but after talking to you, he seemed to know where it was. That key is hidden in your jade necklace. The necklace is the love token he gave his wife. John asked her for the necklace many times, even willing to pay a high price to get it back. If she says that she's never heard of the key, then Claire must be lying. Really? She might just not know that it's there. Right? Which clue can prove that Claire lied? She didn't know the key was on the necklace. The necklace? There are traces of glue on the edge of the necklace. She's already found the key. No, I'm not going to stop asking, just to be nice. Current light and dark values don't match? Alright, fine. Leo's expression changes the moment he hears the word legacy. It's a huge amount of money, worthwhile for him to take a risk. Don't take any risks, I've already known the answer, so no more questions. I didn't know he was going to kill me, but I guess it didn't go as planned. He didn't know that I suddenly felt ill and couldn't go out that day. And the other thing he didn't expect is that Amy had already put the poison in. Don't try to distance yourself from this. Things still don't add up. At the time of the crime? No. Anything with the time? There's nothing wrong with the time, but I'm a little confused about the criminal too. We normally won't think of the chamois leather gloves when we see a piece of chamois leather. I can only be sure after suspecting John may have been the murderer and putting myself in his shoes, but you should be able to recognize it. I do recall it now, but I was too scared to realize it was his. He fitted with the bead bracelet almost every day. It's hard to believe that he didn't think of it. It's easier to overlook something that happens every day. Hard to believe that. The real reason she didn't tell everyone is she wanted to kill him herself. You wanted to kill him yourself. That woman wanted to be on the big screen, but unfortunately she'd only been extras. She didn't make much money and was only making ends meet. I don't know how John became her target. Maybe because she knew his wife. She approached me and told me about her plan, promising to give me a cut if I could bring him here. She'd do the dirty work and I could get a cut. Why wouldn't I agree? As for how she was going to do it, I don't know. I never would have guessed that the old man wanted to kill me. Lie. According to her story, she has nothing to do with these two's death. Something's not right. If you want to kill someone, how can you mistake them for someone else? As for the relation between Amy and her... Here we go again. Seems like we're nearing the end here. An item found in Amy's place that can prove they are connected. Oh, this. The photo of Claire when she was a kid, that's right. It felt strange to me the first time I saw the picture. Why would Amy have a photo of you? When I looked closer, I realized it was Amy in the photo. The old Amy, to be exact. The two of you look very different now. But still, as if planned, one of you wears a lot of makeup every day and the other almost never do. The day it happened, Amy didn't have any makeup on and changed her style of dressing. She looked a lot like you that day, so even John made the mistake and killed the wrong person. You two are sisters. Sisters? Are you kidding me? Different names and families? How can we be sisters? It's not impossible. You can both be orphans. Even if there's a blood relationship, you would have different last names because you're raised in different foster families. No way, I actually guessed right. I told you, Amy killed him. Zhang died from poisoning in front of everybody. Even if Claire has the motive, she couldn't have found the time to do it. The poison is potassium cyanide. Only she and Amy had it. Speaking of which, I already lost the potassium cyanide that Amy gave me. You two really are sisters. Even your excuses are the same. First, the poison was put in... on the bread? The bread did have a faint smell of bitter almonds. But we got our bread randomly. How could you be sure that John wouldn't have poisoned one? The smell of the bread may have been from his hands. So the question should be, where did he come into contact with the poison? The only thing that's not random is him. And the only place that he would touch... personal belongings? It has to be a personal item that only John would touch. The beads. And right before the breakfast. I try to search my memory for details. What do you do before breakfast? Yeah, it has to be the beads. The rosewood bead bracelet. You're right, it is easier to overlook something that happens every day. Claire stares at me, seemingly calm, but I can sense her resentment boiling inside. Which means I'm right. We'll go upstairs and see. Striding toward the second floor, I turn around instinctively and see Claire stand up. Her right leg seems to be shaky. Go to Claire and John's room. Pushing open the door, I immediately bend down and see the fishing line I set up yesterday is gone. Someone has entered this room. John's body is lying flat on the bed. Check the body. The beads were in his right hand. With a cloth underneath, I carefully take off the rosewood bead bracelet. The bead bracelet is well maintained with a clear wooden pattern. A cord strings the beads together, and I pull one bead away from another. Fine white powder falls off between the beads and the cord. I try to fiddle with the beads like John used to do, and white powder falls on the cloth. The poison was put in between the beads and the cord, and it got on his fingers as he turned the beads. The poison then got in his mouth as he took and ate the bread. Check the left hand. I accidentally catch a glimpse of John's left hand, and there's nothing below the wrist. The people at the door have sensed that something is wrong due to my unnatural reaction. When they approach me, everyone sees that John's left hand is missing. Is that done by the 11th person again? Tongue, hand, does this person have a fetish about body parts or what? Everyone was in the lobby yesterday. If anyone came upstairs, we would have heard something, even if we fell asleep. Maybe the person came in from outside, just like Zhang did. Or maybe there's secret chambers in this villa. I'm a bit suspicious about the design of the villa. Maybe there's secret pathways indeed, and someone is going in and out of our rooms without us noticing. I turn to look at the body. Check the body by myself. She's looking at the floor. After what happened last time, she seems to have lost confidence in discovering the truth. Looks like I'm on my own. The cut is clean, and it seems like the murderer did it with a professional tool. I'm not sure. The expression on everyone's faces has become dim and ambiguous. The fishing line trapped at the door is gone, which means someone has entered the room. That person is... Claire? Don't you have something to explain? You've come back to this room by yourself. I set up a trap at the fishing line before I left yesterday. Anyone entering this room would be cut by the fishing line on the shank. Are you saying that you've set up a trap at the fishing line? So there should be a cut on my shank. Seems your little trick has been seen through. There was no fishing line when I opened the door. There was oil on the floor which made me fall. Claire rolls up her trousers and there's no sign of cutting on her shank. There's only a bruise on her knee. Check the floor. As she said, there's some oil remaining on the floor. This is a trap set for me to interfere with my judgment. Who was the 11th person? What's the connection between these people gathering in the villa? I turn to check John's pocket almost instinctively. The fishing line used as the trap has been rolled up and placed in his pocket as expected. I keep staring at the fishing line, feeling frustrated. That person has beaten me to the punch again. Claire didn't come back to judge the body. To dissect the body requires specific tools, and Isaac has proved that Claire didn't have anything with her. She's not the 11th person. She came back for a simple reason. She came back to get something. She's fooled me once again. Amy's been in this villa for many days. Why did you book the reservation on the 8th? Do I need a reason for that? It's because that day is very important to you. The 9th was circled by you on the calendar. On that very day, Amy died. Also, she went to hold a memorial ceremony for someone. For Jackie? What can prove that Claire also had a memorial ceremony for someone? The urn? Is my guess. You were both mourning for the deceased, encased in this urn. That day, Amy went to the cliff on your behalf. Emily, you're a doctor. Why don't you take her upstairs and get some rest? Leave the rest to me, I can do it myself. It's just a formality to go through. Come to think of it, what Amy said back then was more likely meant for you. You came back to get this, am I right? Put it down. Claire has never sounded so serious before. You've come back twice for it. It must be very important. Tell me the truth. Why I want to kill him has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with the 11th person either. He owes me. I first met him on the side of the road. I was burying a dead cat. It was raining heavily, but I was too lazy to have an umbrella. Just as I was burying the cat, an umbrella appeared over my head. I turned around and there he was. I'd seen him before. He used to visit the luxury store where I worked. He was kind of a regular guest. He craned his neck to look at the pit with the dead cat inside while holding the umbrella. Oh, how sad. Miss Yi, it's so kind of you to bury a dead stray cat. The owner is so heartless. How can anyone abandon a pet like that? I wouldn't do that no matter what. It's raining so heavily. What if you get a cold? You look so fragile. Come on, let me drive you home. It's too much trouble for you. I can take a taxi by myself. Don't be so polite to me. I'm just dropping you off along the way. You should have been an actor. He was so good at acting nice. But I lied as well. That cat wasn't stray. It was mine. I was moving, so I couldn't keep it anymore. I didn't want to abandon it because I hate getting abandoned. so I killed it. After that, he kept showing up around me. He would prepare sweet gifts for me on every holiday. He was willing to spend money on me. I'm different from other people. I don't have much feelings. Those things aren't able to move me. Later he bought a house. Claire, you don't have to move anymore because this is your home. Home? It was nothing but a strange word for someone like me. I didn't know what it meant. His business was about antiques, so he was usually away from home. I enjoyed the time alone even better. Things changed in one of those ordinary evenings when I went back home. He was in the kitchen with an apron on. The smell of homemade food added the warmth to the cold house. A kitten came out of the room. Claire, I can't be with you here very often, that's why I bought you a cat. I can keep you company when I'm not around. Go and wash your hands, dinner's ready. There was a strange feeling in my heart, which had been numb for so long. Later I knew that feeling was called false hope. Congratulations, you're a pregnant mother-to-be? The due date was in 4 months. My belly was growing bigger and bigger. I was immersed in the happiness and pain brought by this new life. Sometimes I could feel its heartbeat. It gave me an unfamiliar feeling. I knew that the baby would be the only one that could understand me and change me. Everything would be better after I gave birth to him. I'd have a real home. Maybe it was time to finally let go of the unfair treatment of life and embrace a new start. I was too focused on the baby to notice that John hadn't been around for long. Next thing I knew was that strange woman came to my apartment. She was not so young. Let me introduce myself in case you don't know who I am. I'm John's wife. What does it have to do with me? The so-called John's wife threw a pile of photos at me. Take a look, you're just one of the women. Not even his lover. I'm here to inform you that he won't come back to you again, and I'm taking this house back. No, this house is mine. What a joke. Before he met me, he'd been doing all kinds of nasty jobs, cheating and lying, you name it. Do you think he'll be your meal ticket? Let me tell you, I'm the one keeping the money. He doesn't have any. But he won't abandon me. He said that there's no way he would abandon. Do you want to bet? On what? She pushed me even before I could finish the sentence. I lost my balance and completely fell backward. My clumsy body fell down the stairs and a sudden pain penetrated my abdomen. That woman passed by me. On whether he chooses money or you. I'll make you pay. The patient is in critical condition. Prepare for an induced labor now. The patient is having a massive hemorrhage. Where's her family? Is there any family members here? Dr. A. I don't have any family. I'm all by myself in this world. I managed to survive in the end. I lost. He never showed up again, and the baby who was my only consolation was gone as well. How can someone like me still have those hopes? I hate myself for stupidity. I've been hiding in my own world without disturbing anyone. Why? Why do I have to be in despair again after I taste hope? They have to pay for their mistakes. One comes for money and the other comes for revenge. On this trip we revive an old dream. The two partners both want to kill each other. What about Amy? She offered to help me. Now that I've achieved my goal, her sacrifice was worth it. What? No, your hatred changed the course of her life. Claire looks lost for a second and keeps caressing her jade necklace. What does it have to do with me? She came to me first. Alright, we're going to have to wrap this one up here because it just keeps going on and we need to save it up. But I think we must be heading to the end there by the feel of it. If we check the storyline, we are in chapter 6 and we've got 3 more chapters to go. Jeez, I don't know how many endings it has though because the branches are all over the place. I think at this stage we're just going to do the one ending and call it quits there, as long as it's decent, you know. We'll see how it goes. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.